What are some of the people we should be keeping an eye out as we get back into this?
Yeah, Michigan, as soon as the as soon as the dead period was done, Michigan was off and running, bro. Like, we're going to get into it. Michigan has been recruiting all over the nation. We're going to go one by one, but we're going to start at the most important position on the field. None other than QB1, our QB, Brady Smeagol. Chip Lindsey flew out to visit Brady Smeagol to continue building that relationship. Brady Smeagol is going to be visiting for Victor's Weekend, June 20th, which is going to be the big weekend. Let's be on the lookout for that. Literally 1 month from today, guys. Today is May 20th. June 20th is going to be the big weekend where by that time, Michigan should have a handful or more commits by that time. We'll get into that and the expectations over the next month and a half. The other big prospect, John, that I know the audience will be excited to hear about is Savion Hider. What is it, John?
Hyder.
Savion Hyder. We should know this by now, right? Savion Hyder. But it's honestly, we were on a recruiting hiatus. My brain went foggy on me. But Savion Hyder, Tony Alford has already visited Savion Hyder. There was pictures today. He's going to be visiting June 13th. So not only is Tony Alford building that relationship just a few weeks before his official visit, securing it. Because as many of you guys know, Michigan has been the leader for Savion Hyder for about 5 months now. 4 to 5 months. Okay. Now, there were some people who thought, well, Michigan might be losing its lead to the likes of Ohio State and Georgia, etc. But it does appear that Michigan is still in a strong position. Michigan still holds the lead right now, still holds the lead with an official visit coming June 13th. The big thing for Hyder here, all right, I'm just going to call it. Michigan can win this if they want it. It's going to come down to the final NIL number. It's going to come down to, is Michigan willing to financially, which they've shown they are. They have shown they are. Are they willing to financially do what is necessary to secure his commitment? I think Michigan will. I don't know that they will. I'm assuming, but the reason why I'm assuming is because they've been so high on Hyder. They have done everything they need to do to land this commitment. And we've seen them put money at other positions. We saw what they just did with Justice Haynes in the transfer portal. I cannot see why they would back down now. They know what they need to do. Everyone and he plans on making a commitment after his official visit. So we should have an answer there at the end of June. The other player we're going to talk about, John, and actually I want to show his highlight tape. So I'll pull it up here. There's another running back. As we all know, the Javion Osborne sweepstakes is kind of over. It's kind of over. It doesn't mean it is over, but it's kind of over. So the running back that we need to be paying attention to right now, and this doesn't mean Savion Hyder's out of the picture. No, this is the running back that you have compliments Savion Hyder, and it is Amari Latimer. Amari Latimer is a larger back, a physical back. I want you guys to take a look at how he runs. He is a horse. This is a physical runner who is your RB, your B. He's your RB. He's the B, right? He's the 1B to the 1A is what he is. And if you can land Amari Latimer, and the biggest threat to him right now is Wisconsin. I believe his cousin goes there. Alfred made an in-home visit with Amari Latimer on Sunday. He will be visiting Michigan June 6th. The plan is to try and land both Amari Latimer and Savion Hyder because this is going to be your thunder and lightning duo. And I'm going to be honest with you, I am sold. As you can see here, he is a truck. This kid is a truck.
Yeah.
He's big time. I don't think his ranking matches the player. He's physically built. He's a grown man out there. He has breakaway speed. He's a big time player, man. He should be probably, in my opinion, a top 125 player. I think he's currently ranked in the 200s. I could be wrong there. Let me double check because I haven't looked in a while. Let's see, where's he ranked? But regardless, I mean, you can see in his tape, this kid is extremely skilled, man, and his size is amazing. So he's ranked 286th in the nation. In my opinion, he's a top 150, 125 player to me. I mean, I think he's a big time player. I think he could be. If we like, I'll just say this: if we ended up with him and not Savion Hyder, I would be okay with it. That does not mean I want that though. I want Savion Hyder, but Amarion Latimer.
Savion Hyder is basically like I'm not going to call him Bryce Underwood, but he's kind of a Bryce Underwood-esque. Like you land him, he's a hallmark of the class.
Yeah, he's a special player. Like he's a cornerstone player. Amari Latimer is not cornerstone, but he's a very good player. You know, damn, you could put this kid at linebacker. But anyways, hell of a player, man. I'm a big fan of him. I wanted to share him with the audience, let everybody get up to speed. The next player we're going to talk about is one we're all familiar with, and without question is the highest priority offensive lineman for Michigan. That is Malachi Lee, the 6'6", 318-pound Hawaii monster. Grant Newsome visited him on yesterday, so they've already flown out to Hawaii. His next visit is going to be June 20th, and he's going to be there for where? Victor's Weekend. That's where Brady Smiegel's. I'm going to tell you right now, Victor's Weekend is going to be big time. Like Michigan's going to be closing. It's going to be closing season. Next player we're going to talk about is the wide receiver who is my personal cycle crush. My crush is Travis Johnson. Big fan of his game. Ron Bellamy visited him on Monday in Virginia for the in-home. He will be back for an official visit on June 13th, which is the same weekend as Savion Hyder. We have some big weekends coming up, John. We are battling right now South Carolina and Penn State for Travis Johnson. In my opinion, this is a must get. This is like our wide receiver. We need this type of talent in our wide receiver room. Michigan needs to pick it up here. Now they did it in home, so that's good, but we got to close. Like we have to get Travis Johnson. If we don't get Travis Johnson, I'm going to be very frustrated as a fan. Obviously we'll live. Obviously we'll move on. Obviously there'll be other targets, but I really like this kid's game. He's a special player.
Warm interest, Chesapeake, Virginia. This is the type of player you need to get.
Yeah, he's a playmaker. He's a game changer. He's X Factor. He's an X Factor player. Like he's blockbuster. He's big time. Like he's, in my opinion, a very special dynamic player that if Michigan lands, it would add a lot of skill to that room. And then the last player we're going to talk about in the recruiting update. Actually, I have two more updates. But we have Nick Abrams, Brian Jean-Marie, if Juju's in the chat, which he is. Shout out to Juju. Shout out to Beat Up too if he's in the chat. Nick Abrams is one of the two linebackers that Brian Jean-Marie is currently recruiting. I mean, obviously there is Shadarius Tootle, but he's trending to Georgia, so there's an update on him. But Brian Jean-Marie met with Nick Abrams on Sunday. He's a 2026 four-star linebacker. He's a top target. He is going to take an official visit June 6th. Be on the lookout for that. This appears to be one of the linebackers who are now at the top of the board for Michigan. And as I was talking about with Juju and B-Dub before the show, it does appear that Brian Jean-Marie likes to only recruit like two players at a time. So this is one of those players. And actually, I'm going to pull up his huddle tape right now. We'll play it right here. Let's see. Why is it not coming up? Oh, it is. So we'll take a look at Nick Abrams. We'll see what Brian Jean-Marie likes about this kid. Obviously, he's built pretty well here. Let's watch him right here. You can see him just getting a feel for the field. Goddamn. Power drives that kid. I mean, obviously his form could have been better, but you could just see the physical capability of him. He's definitely a read and react linebacker. He definitely has explosiveness. This is my first time watching this huddle tape, so we're watching it all live for the first time. But I'm not going to lie. I like the way he seems to have a good feel for, I mean, obviously these are highlights here, but he does seem to have a good feel for the play. He's definitely a read and react linebacker playing off of, to me, it looks like he has a lot of film, like the type of linebacker who does a lot of film homework. You see right now he's just obviously playing off instincts, but earlier when you saw his highlight tapes, it looked like a player who was just going off of his homework. He knows how to read and react, diagnose plays. But we'll see. I think he's a well-built linebacker. He looks good, but we'll see what Brian Jean-Marie does, because the question is, Brian Jean-Marie did land Nathan Owasu Boateng, right? Brian Jean-Marie did land Bulls in the transfer portal, the four-star linebacker out of Georgia. But Brian Jean-Marie seems to have a trend where he is only targeting literally like two kids at a time. And if he swings and misses, then we're in a bad spot. Now, the other player that Brian Jean-Marie is currently is currently recruiting is Tyler Atkinson. Tyler Atkinson is the number 1 linebacker in the nation. And this is Brian Jean-Marie with Tyler Atkinson. Brian Jean-Marie just visited him. We're going to see what does this mean, because here's what we do know. The number 1 linebacker in the nation is going to need some NIL. You know what I mean? Like, this is going to be a player, John, where Michigan's going to have to write a check. Are they willing? You know?
Dollars and cents. Like, it's not exactly. Just it can't be just a vague like range. Now, just like with Savion Hyder, like he's going to need dollars and cents.
Well, like I was talking about with Juju and B-Dub, you know, Brian Jean-Marie is known for being a whale hunter. Okay, this would be a whale. This is a big time player. This is, you know, this is what Brian Jean-Marie actually specializes in. He specializes in closing elite players. I know last year, you know, it wasn't his best first year, but he did get up to Nathan Owasu Boateng. That's nothing to sneeze at. That's a very good player. We'll see if Brian Jean. See, that's like Brian Jean-Marie's strategy appears to be he just focuses on a couple of kids and he gives them his full attention. But you got to land, right? He's got to land,
right?
So, you know, we'll see if Brian Jean-Marie can make progress here. All right, we're gonna call this boy out. Listen, big dog. What we are discussing is there was a visit by the head coach. Sit the fuck down. You're 2 steps away from being. You're 2 steps away from being banned, big dog. And by the way, your school ain't shit, and the Dallas Cowboys suck. Suck it. All right. On to our final player, Zayden Crimpen. Grant Newsome visited Zayden Crimpen in Texas today. I know the Maze Madman show with our guy Maniac, who's in the chat. Shout out to Maniac. Shout out to Kinetic. They're good friends with Zayden. Well, you know, they've had Zayden Crimpen on the show, friend of their program. Grant Newsome did visit Zayden Crimpen today. He is the other offensive lineman that Michigan is trying to land. Right now, Michigan appears to be focusing strictly on Malachi Lee, Leo Delaney, Zayden Crimpen, and Marky Walbridge. Those are kind of the main offensive tackles or offensive linemen that Michigan is narrowing its scope on. So, you know, we'll see what they can do there. One thing I can say I'm very confident about is Michigan will have a very strong offensive line class for 2026. I'm extremely confident with that. But that's where we are. But here's the good news, boys. Recruiting is open. Michigan is cooking, and we're gonna have a bunch of updates. There should be a bunch of kids committing like over the next few weeks. Official visit season is about to be nuts because we're only at 6. So Michigan's probably going to be landing, I would say, 17 to 20 kids from now until signing day. So we're going to have a lot of fun. A lot's going to be happening. So let's enjoy the ride.
Yeah, BJM, Brian Jean-Marie, he needs a big win. And I think he's been very hit or miss on the recruiting trail. I think landing someone like this, landing some big people for 26 would do great for his entire career, because, you know, obviously all these people are wanting to move up in the coaching ranks, whether they want to be head coaches, whether they want to be like a career defensive coordinator, maybe in the NFL, whatever everybody's a little different, but at the end of the day, like you gotta be like increasing your pedigrees, and I do think that he's been one of the weaker recruiters at times. So I think it would be great to.
Tough. It's tough because like we wish he would do more, but it's not like he's done nothing.
True,
right? Nathan Owasu Boateng, great get.
Great get.
Getting Bowles from Georgia, that was a good get out of the portal. Chase Taylor, I'm high on. I like Chase Taylor. So I mean, I'm on the fence with Brian Jean-Marie. I think if there's a coach to be critical of in the recruiting, it's Ron Bellamy.
Oh yeah.
Although then somebody might.
Oh, you know how I feel about Ron Bellamy. He's on my shit list.
what about Andrew Marsh? What about Jamar Browder? That was a good get. It was a good get. So I mean, it's, you know, we'll see. There's no coach who is so bad at recruiting they have to be replaced. Everyone's doing something. It's just we'd like to see a little more. Last thing on recruiting, John, that I wanted to mention.
Yeah.
Michigan is bringing back satellite camps. Michigan is going to be doing a camp at Wayne State. So some will say, well, it's not really a satellite camp because it's in the state of Michigan. But they're also going to be visiting Texas and Georgia. So they're going to be doing a satellite camp in Texas. They're going to be doing a satellite camp in Georgia. Did you just type that banner? You are the quickest hands in the fucking America. Anyways, but shout out to John. But yeah, man. So the satellite camps are back, and we'll see what Sherrell can do with those and what type. If anyone remembers when John Harbaugh was doing the satellite camps, those were a big deal. The SEC was scared because what it did is it allowed kids who didn't have the financial capacity to come up to Ann Arbor to then get to know these coaches and build relationships and also see how these coaches work on the field. And the fact that Michigan's going to start to do these a little bit more, I'm happy about it. Let's see if Michigan can get some kids from it. I mean, to me, it's nothing but a net positive.
Yeah, no, I think anything Michigan can do to gain an edge.
Yeah, do it.
Just do it. Yeah. Just do it. I'm always in favor because I see Ohio State and the big SEC programs and Oregon, and they're just doing whatever it takes. And all I'm asking is just this is exactly the type of thing that I want to be seeing. I want to be seeing outside of the box or even bring back ideas that worked well in the past. And satellite camps worked well in 2015, the early Harbaugh years.
I think Michigan is motivated as shit right now. I think Michigan is like, it's like, when someone's like talking behind your back and it just gives you that extra motivation and extra energy. I feel like Michigan's in that sphere right now. They got the 4 weeks of, no recruiting. I think they're like, all right, guns blazing. Like, I mean, like this run this week of all the visits that they're doing, it's big time. There's no expense being, saved. Like they're willing to travel to Hawaii just to, like how many times I'm sure Grant Newsom doesn't mind the trip, but he's only there for like a day. So it's a hell of a flight. He's literally flying to Hawaii for like
there you go
half a day, and then he's in Texas. Like the boys are putting in work right now. So shout out to the coaching staff.
Hey, listen, half a days in Hawaii is better than no days in Hawaii. I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
Just get on
to
over.
Hawaii twice in 5 months.
Well, there you got a pipeline there, so I'm glad they're putting in the work. That is good to see. It's good to see that we're back out there. Somebody said, I think it was Marmar, put the word that we're back or something like that. So very exciting. And any other thoughts on recruiting before we get to a couple of supers and
final thought? I think we're gonna have a top 10 class.
Boom.
I think we're going to do a top 10 class. I'm not a top 5. I think Michigan's got to make major moves to get into top 5, but I do think I know right now. I said in the video that I know Michigan's behind the top programs in the Big Ten. I know we're behind the top programs in the nation, but I do believe that Michigan is going to be very aggressive from here forward, all the way to signing day. And I do think Michigan's going to land. I said in the video, I believe Michigan's going to land somewhere in the realm of like I'd say 5 to 8 kids by the end of June. So we'd be in that 10 to 15 commit range. And I do think Michigan's going to close very hard from October all the way to December. I think they're going to apply the same strategy they did last year, and they're going to flip some kids. I really do.